Difference even on personality side. Big EQUIPA, definitely a lot of personalities, sort of a good level of sass behind that, and it's all business on the NAVI Javelin side, but there's some heavy hitters on that team. I think this could be a powerful matchup. I look forward to it. We're going to be heading into Nuke to begin with. So once again, big welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and let's get this best of 3 underway. Now we're going to be starting on the T side with big EQUIPA on the CT side.
There's a map pick coming in from the Polish ladies, of course. And I got to say, after watching the interview before the game, I think I'm a D7 fan right now. She just seems just like a fun balloon, for lack of a better word. But it's going to be a fast play coming in here. And it looks like D7 took her name, and she is being pressured. But they're avoiding her and doing a great job at the same time.
Yeah, and it's risky. Oh, what she's doing right now is scary. Got to be careful. She's going to try and see if we can catch any of them down below. But this is a cool strat right now for NAVI Javelins. They've made their way through. I actually think they managed to offset the defense so much. Could be a bomb plant. There will be a bomb plant coming, but D7 and ZAna coming in with a couple of headshots. So this retake could still be good right here. It's going to be a 3 versus 4. Viku's already taken a fair bit of damage. Oh, what a spin around, though. Double headshot to bring down a couple of players, and they will win the pistol round. If not for Viku and picking up that double with the Glock as they come down the ramp, I'm not sure they're going to be able to win that round. That was lightning fast.
That was really fast, and just the amount of control they had from the side of NAVI Javelins, able to really disrupt the defense as we spotted out. But still, nice attempt from D7 and ZAna with the duelies to almost bring it back. But Viku, this was a beautiful sequence of kills there. The 2 players who I'm going to be keeping an eye out on for the side of NAVI Javelins have to be Viku. We just saw what she can do in the server, and Angelka. I feel Angelka, she might not be the top fragger for this team consistently, but she has so much of impact. So I feel like these 2 have to be standard performers for me personally for NAVI Javelins if they want to avoid what D7 said should be maybe a 2-0. I like the confidence.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? That's what you like to hear. I'd actually really like a replay of Viku throwing those 3 smokes. I think she set up the entire smoke wall outside alone. So that's pretty cool. Angelka going to be taking down Ada, sneaking through, trying to get a little bit of a jump on them, coming through the lobby, which is a fine move. I think when you're on the CT side in a round like this, why not try and get a little bit creative and find something there. Stacking up for a little bit of damage, but there's no way through. Yeah, the grenades are going to follow up here, so it's a good start for the T side. They should be having a good run of it, and they've already snuck 1 player down below, so they have all the info they need.
Yep. Doing a pretty good job avoiding the aggression. Even the aggression coming out from big EQUIPA wasn't really put together well, in my opinion. It was Ada just going on a fact-finding mission, and if I'm big EQUIPA, yeah, you're running for the hills and going to be holding on to these weapons. Still very could still be deadly, right? We have the MP9 hands at D7, we have the scout from ZAna, and if they opt to go for, like, let's say, maybe a ramp player or head out towards the outside position without really utilizing utility, that scout could deal quite a bit of damage. Speaking of individuals, man, this big EQUIPA side, like, ZAna has been a star, right? Despite that losing effort against, who was it? Against Enigma Galaxy.
Yeah, it was.
She was phenomenal.
She did a lot of work. I mean, there's a couple of rounds there where she out of Anna on the other side. She has a lot to offer, there's no doubt. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, what we saw yesterday with NAVI Javelins, they were playing. Angelka was doing very well. Viku obviously on that AWP. Angelka also a heavy hitter. And I think what we saw out of Danu was that she was sort of the player in the team who would be careful to make sure no flanks were happening. Sort of always a little bit cautious to take the extra look and make sure no one's getting surprised. So I don't know, this could be definitely a very difficult match for both teams, there's no doubt. So far, still going to be in the hands of NAVI Javelins early on with the weapons and everything else. But they saved what they could into this one, so they could still do something. Find that MP9 or the scout maybe to soften it up. Nice flashbang to come through. Jenny, as well as a lot of players.
How is your live?
Yeah, well, yeah, but a lot of info, right? That's amazing.
A lot of info, a bit of damage being dealt as well. Lena and Angelka just a scout tag away from death, so they need to be a bit wary. Still a lot of time to work with here for the NAVI Javelins as they have taken control of Secret, and Jenny are still spawning out from hell, looking to spot something, but NAVI Javelin's giving it respect, not really going for these duels. You can easily fall into the trap of trying to go for these duels, especially when you have the long-range weaponry, the assault rifles here on the T side, and that's when we've seen so many times teams just kind of capitulate in rounds like this. But they're taking their sweet time. The problem is, time is finite. Eventually, they will have to make a play here. Now, they have a bit of secret control, but they're not making their way down below. Instead, they're opting to go for like a long about route, but do you see on the radar, as the C4 will group up with the players towards secret, but in 35 seconds, they don't really have much time to really clear all the angles, so they have to go for an explode play. Fortunately for them, oh no, Ada, 4x3, and Danu's doing a great job keeping the CTs focused on her position here.
Yeah, that takes away a lot of it. You're right, they are running out of time, which is a little bit scary, but those 2 kills open everything up. They don't have to worry about nearly as much. It'd be a good round here. 80 trying to come through, and actually will do a lot of damage. That's a nice job. You've got this MP9. It's not going to be nearly as effective the next round. So, and you're going to be buying anyway. So stacking a lot of cash behind that, I mean, it's possible at this point to even just throw an AWP over to ZAna-th. She's doing some work herself. They should not be winning this round. NAVI Javelins really need a deep breath right here. Molotov to force one out. 80 keeps going, but that counter Molotov, yeah, that's going to ruin everything. They have the kit even, but just no health and a headshot, but
she can do it.
Oh, can she really? No way. That is such a ridiculous retake. NAVI Javelins, they thought it was over as well. They thought it was done for. And that one Molotov, and then, of course, on top of that, the defuse kit. That is such an unlikely round to be winning.
D7,
wow.
1 HP as well. We counted them out of this round about 4 or 5 times in the span of 30 seconds.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's how tilted. That's how tilted their opposition have to be right now. That was incredible.
That's where she picks up the Molotov.
Yes.
In the vent. When ZAna got that Deagle headshot, she picks up the Molotov, throws it into the corner, which means there's no hiding any longer, and that is just absolutely absurd. Wow, I mean, that changes a lot of this first half right here.
Absolutely. Now for NAVI Javelin, considering they did a very good job avoiding the force buy from EQUIPA in round number 2, all that good work has come to naught. You look at the buy they have. Sure, they have the AK-47s, but so much damage being dealt out. Fortunately, it is Lina, the one with just the Deagle, who's going to take the brunt of the damage here. But for EQUIPA, massive rounder, Anders. They have the AK and Galil from the previous round. Also, the AWP in the hands of ZAna, and she is going to be a problem here for NAVI Javelin. Still, early days of NAVI Javelins have managed to successfully infiltrate the secret position. They have left Danu as well towards lobby. That's where she likes to play, just kind of being the late look, and looking to dissuade any aggression from the CTs towards ramp room or towards the lobby position.
Yeah, hard one to play on your own like that, but if she's up for it, maybe it could work out. Under 50 seconds now, they're going to shoot open those windows, and that's going to be all the info they should need on the EQUIPA side to know what's coming next. ZAna is here, but she's been smoked off, and Molotov's on the other angle, so hard one to challenge at the moment. 35 seconds, she's going to get that good flick on Angelka, and that will give them, again, two-player advantage going into this retake. They might even just wait for it here. No point in fighting too much, and you could see trying to do a little bit of work there, Lina, but even with the bomb plant here, this should be a good retake that they're about to set up. All of them coming in nearly from the ramp with a little bit of presence coming in from the vent behind them. Hanka is ready and waiting. Ooh, nearly caught sleeping there. Ada's going to be taking down Lina. She was already low on health, and it's up to Viku and Hanka to try and stay alive. It's a good transfer there. Hanka helping out, and Jenny's going to be taking one of them down. So now Hanka is on her own, kind of pushed away. They have a Molotov as well on 80. If they throw it in here, the smoke instead, I don't think she can stop this Hanka. It's not going to be easy. And there's Jenny through the smoke to take her down. So good, careful retake coming in. A little bit late maybe at the end without the kit here, but oh, they should have it, I think, right at the last second. But that's scary. A little bit scary.
That got a little spicy, considering 80 and ZAna both had the kits. But EQUIPA giving us a bit of a show here for the side of NAVI Javelins. They get the bomb down. There are a couple of players who can go for the buy, but the smart call here would be just to go for a light investment. Could even see a Mac-10 come out here for Hanka, but instead, no, they opt to go for the Deagles. But for EQUIPA, yeah, 2 rounds back-to-back, of which the first one was definitely a bonus round, and they, of course, have ample money to work with, 2 or 3 players surviving as well. Multitude of nades, a fast play coming into what's outside, and that's going to pressure Jenny R a little bit, but she just got backup as well from Heavens.
Gotta be careful though, yeah. Backup is going to be much needed at the moment. ZAna's out there, so trying to see if he can shut it down. They've only lost 1 rifle so far, and no one's able to pick it up just yet, so that's the main problem, obviously. If not just dying outside, but if you also manage to give over a rifle that they can run wild with, you don't really want that happening. 5th round, and yeah, the fact that Big EQUIPA got themselves into the match around early can have some devastating consequences. Although look at this. Deagle from Angelka to take down ZAna on the AWB, and now she steals that weapon too. And Hanka's waiting this whole time. It's such a good read. She almost had the right idea. Ada will be able to close out the round, but honestly, that is, again, I think NAVI Javelins also showing why they can be a little bit of a scary team. Some of these slowdowns where they wait it out, if you lose patience, they're going to be ready.
And also, like, the damage they inflicted, bear in mind, majority of those pistol buys were not backed up with armor, right? So they had, it was just almost equivalent to going for a full eco there. Taking away 2 weapons, you might not feel the, you might not see the results from that damage early on, but if they're able to continue to pressure the economy here at the CT side, there is going to be one point where it will break, and that's our opportunity to kind of grind back on this T side here. That being said, it's still very early days. We will see the buy coming out from the NAVI Javelin side. And as he said as well, Anders, like, one thing I noticed about the NAVI ladies are how hyper-focused they are. They are serious. They're here to, they mean business. And if you look at everyone else, I'm not saying that one demeanor is the right thing, but everyone else are like, the smiles, they're happy to be here. And NAVI are like, we're here to kill. Yeah,
I mean, and that's how it is for the rest of esports too. You know, there just are personality differences inside of, you know, the different teams and all the rest of it. And it's interesting to think about, because sometimes, you know, being a little bit more, you know, showing a little bit of sass and being a little bit outspoken and saying, yeah, we're going to beat them, we're going to take them down, all the rest of it, that can really backfire, you know. And NAVI Javelins, you wonder what the mood is like, you know, inside of the team. This is something that hopefully we'll learn a lot more about in the future going forward. You know, within ESL Impact, it'd be really cool to get a sense for how are they dealing with some of these upset rounds. Do they have a couple of people on the team that can, you know, crack the right joke at the right time to get everyone back online, because it does make a difference. So, just the right shot will do it too. Better than jokes even. 3 kills to open the round with. D7 going to try and get a bit of a return, but that is a great way to get into the B bomb site. Going to go for a straight bomb plant, no delay on that one. And I would say D7 and Jenny might be worth saving this, even though you feel like you're on a bit of a roll and they have a little bit of bank on 80. I still don't think it's worth it here. Maybe if you can find a really quick kill or 2 in the next 5 seconds, maybe it's worth it, but otherwise not.
And Jenny, just checking, the Decon door knows there's no possibility of real flank taking place, so she might just stick around towards Secret here, because with no one towards Decon, the right, I mean, NAVI have 2 options to go for the save here. They could actually go towards Secret, or they could be heading towards the ramp position. But that being said, the bomb explosion radius in Nuke is it is very still one of the tiniest ones in CS, so they're going to be fine saving inside the control room. That is going to be a third round here for NAVI. Good return to form here, despite a bit of a shocker of a round loss. And we've actually seen this happen a couple of times in yesterday as well, where teams they'd be in a pretty good streak, and then suddenly you lose a round like that. And then mentally to kind of capitulate a little bit, and suddenly it's a string of rounds going the other way. So it's a good sign here for NAVI Javelins to immediately strike back. That being said, of course, because of the saved rifles there, another buy is going to be no problem whatsoever here for Big EQUIPA. The op still in the hands of ZAna. And that is something which we really haven't seen too much impact from yet here, although that being said, it's still pretty early.
It is, you're right. And Viku as well, she's been doing most of the work with other weapons outside of the AWP. Now they both have one though, so it could be interesting. D7 to open up the round, taking down ZAna. And Angelka making a quick run for it here. That is a lot of map control being taken without really any challenge at the moment. I wonder if Big EQUIPA are aware of how far they've got into it. Well, now they're going to find out. ZAna outside of her scope. She can't see anything there. Didn't probably want to unscope, because again, that'll also give away her position, so has to be careful on that one. But yeah, that backfires in a big way. Look at the opening here. This is so good. A quick bomb plant once again, and puts all the pressure on Big EQUIPA. If they want to go for this retake, they might have to hurry up. They've already put up 1 smoke. They have a couple of HEs, but double setup in the control room. Not easy to read. And Angelka, she'll win the first fight here. Viku missing a shot, but 80. What do you do? She's going to run for it. Yeah, might as well try and hold. I don't think even faking it is worth it at this point. They're going to come charging through. She takes down 1. Viku's still on the other side, and she swapped it out for an AK instead. Exactly for that smoke. 80's out hunting, but against the AK, it's just too much, and it'll be the round for NAVI Javelins.
That still came down to the wire, the missed op shot giving an opportunity, but then a 1v2, if it was a 1v1, maybe there was a chance, but a 1v2, the player could just run on out. Prevent her from sticking it. But again, slower bomb site being wouldn't say give free, but they're able to, they're kind of figuring out the fact that Big are very comfortable going for this retake, but they're trying to make these retakes as uncomfortable as possible. And again, it comes down to play. The rounds where they're able to take a couple of guns, we go back to a round with just the deagles as well. Finally, we see the result of them bleeding the economy a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, that's important. And I reckon some of that last round was probably they got the information that ramp had been lost that much just too late. I don't think they realized on the CT side exactly how far the NAVI Javelins had got into the lower part of the map. And that's a little bit of an issue. So hopefully that's something they can spot next time, because you need to be able to rotate players in. You don't really want to be coming into the control room when they're already jumping through. Oh, Jenny up close. That's great. And she's going to swing for it, pick up the AK-47. If they come back out to check, no, that doesn't look like they will, but if they did, there's no way they're going to guess that she's that far in. Going on a flanking mission, it could be a while before she gets there, so the rest of her team will have to step it up in the meantime. Danu is a good opening there. 80, they haven't spotted her yet, and she's at least good for the 1 kill. They probably need a little bit more, and already watching the back here. Nice work from Lina, or at least spotting it out, but does get another kill and a missed shot from Viku on that AWP.
This is still very doable for the CTs. And Danu not expecting Ada to be hugging the left-hand side. Now Viku up in hand, 1v2. She's got the hell to work with. The bomb is nowhere near by. Making a lot of noise. She could swap for a weapon, but it's so risky. Give away, Ada, position known, the no-scope doesn't land, and that is a huge round to win for Big. And these are the rounds that if you're NAVI Javelins, look, let's be real, Big are the favorites here, but already a couple of rounds where with the much inferior weaponry, they've been able to snatch away from the side of NAVI Javelins, and that could be a problem here. Great role from Jenny to start things off, but just the fact they're able to get outplayed. Ada, they're hugging the corner. She was being the bait as well the second time around against Viku. Just well done, well put together by Big EQUIPA, but still a round which really shouldn't have gone their way.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think I'm seeing now a couple of missed shots so far from Viku, and this is another thing that's worth thinking about. You know, the level of experience in terms of playing on a stage in front of a crowd this deep in a tournament, it's something you have to try quite a few times before you can shake up all the nerves. So maybe that's getting to her a little bit at this point in time. Hanka, though, good opening into this one, a bit of a return. 80 and Ada try and put up the best defense that they can, but these 7 still up here, and Jenny able to shut down the push coming out of the squeak door. That's going to be able to secure it. I like the change of pace, though. It's a nice idea for the T side to try and see if they can shock and awe them before they start to pick up too many guns and too many Molotovs on there. It's not a bad call necessarily, but they needed maybe one more opening kill.
Yeah, and you can see even when they went for the explode, like the protocol wasn't perfectly there. Like these 7 not being spotted on top of the hut, for example. They did take down a player on top of the rafters, and small little mistakes like this, especially in moments of chaos when just exploding out, could be the difference between the round slipping it away from your fingers or you winning the round. But that being said, finally, it's been a battle of money situation here for this team. But speaking of money, 80 is just farming that cash. A nice little 4K. Bit of an Eco Cobra, but we take that. And you can see a couple of smiles breaking out as well. Rounds like this, right, we might say how it doesn't really, it's not an impressive ace or a 4K against the Eco, but listen, it does make a whole lot of difference to your mental state at times. Yeah, especially when you're having a slow start, you're like, listen, that just got me fired up.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a couple of times throughout the tournament also teams giving up some rounds that, that should be locked down. So this is something that you just, as a team, you have to have some good protocols. You have to respect those rounds, even if they are some of the easier ones to win, because they cost so much to lose. Like the difference between getting that kind of a spray down with the MP9 and saying, that's it, easy, we've done it, and losing it instead, or even just giving up 3 or 4 kills in a round like that, it is huge. So you just don't want to be in that position. It's good to see it. It is kind of, it's what we expect, but at the same time, there are lots of teams that end up throwing those rounds away, and that's how you lose series, and that's how you get knocked out of tournaments. So a little bit of comfort to them there. 6-4 in favor of Big EQUIPA here early on Nuke. Jenny's out there, smoke wall being set up.
She's looking to disrupt here, and I agree with you 100%. This game can be a matter of seconds and inches, or centimeters if you prefer the superior system. As a nade will be lobbed in, unfortunately not able to find anyone, but she has dealt quite a bit of damage onto Angelka. And if they make their way towards, oh, I love this from ZAna. I love how proactive she's being, but she's being spotted. If she'd managed to sneak on in before being seen on the cross, there was a world she could have easily found a kill, but there is a chance here that the T's might be able to push on in. The problem here for ZAna's position is, Anders, is no one in heaven to kind of provide overwatch for her. So she's on an island all by her lonesome, and considering she's been spotted, she needs to play this one way more safe, which is exactly what she's doing at the moment.
Yeah, staying far, far away from any action, but at the same time also making sure that they cannot sneak in and backstab that heaven position. Hanka, a lot of patience, waiting around for maybe 30 seconds in this one, and she does get the kill on D7, so that's a nice reward. 40 seconds still left, and they are going to start to make their way down. They do have Danu here as well, but she's going to be catching Ada, who is trying to make up for it. They're in a lot of trouble here. And ZAna, now the problem is that defensive play is now locking her out of any chance to get back into the round, almost at least. Angelka had the right idea, but I think she doubted herself maybe in the last second. Bomb is making its way down, and this should be another very, very difficult retake. A big question here. We're in the, well, we're kind of getting a little bit late into it, but they still have to worry about the money. They have a lot of bank on the bigger keeper side, but not enough to just throw rifles away. So I'd say, again, if you don't get a really quick kill and turn this into a 3-on-3, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, and also they knew that Danu was looking all the way towards lobby, and considering they cleared out lobby, they know she is coming in from secret, so this is going to be rough. Molotov, though, not in the right position, as Vika will find AD, and that should be the call here. You said they needed a kill early on, in fact, it's going to be a tease to get the first, and they're still sticking around for a bit, but the time ticking away. That's another round being won here by NAVI Javelins. I really liked a couple of things they're doing here from the NAVI side, right? Sure, there've been a couple of rounds, a couple of hiccups where they really shouldn't have lost. One thing is they're taking a sweet time and they're making Big EQUIPA start to get a little feel antsy. And how many times have you seen them lose rounds where they just go for this info play and it's Danu just waiting for them towards the lobby? And I think like 3 or 4 rounds where she's got that kill, that opening kill by the aggression from the CTs. We saw D7 lose her life as well towards Secret, and I think they've kind of figured out the fact that if you start them with information, Big EQUIPA, it seems like discombobulated aggression, which has 0 trade potential. And that's been the secret to success in at least 3 of the 5 rounds they've won so far.
I agree, and that's something to really go back and look at for Big EQUIPA in some of the upcoming games that they might end up having here, because that's you need a presence on the team for someone to say, listen, it's fine. Sometimes you don't have to push too much. You can take it easy for a minute. Nice catch. That's that's an all or nothing if you're a ZAna. If you don't get that kill, you're obviously going to be dead. So yeah, just chill out for a minute. Make sure you don't do too much here. Jenny going to be rewarded, sticking to the corner. Viku going down, and they swing, but not quite ready. They needed that kill right away. So might be a chance here for Big EQUIPA to extend the lead a little bit more. D7 going to be falling back off the hut and crouching in that corner. No problem to get the kill. So nice round here.
Well done. And look, the thing is for NAVI Javelins, if I'm the polls at the moment, I just keep trying to abuse the lower bomb site, because I feel like Big EQUIPA, sure, a couple of retakes did go their way, but they seem to take so very long, and they seem to be just comfortable giving up control of Secret, or just giving up ramp control, allowing the T's to just take over and attempt to go for the retake. So I think that's been something which has been working off them time and time again. And right now, just the pistols, though. So should still be round number 8 here for Big EQUIPA, but the final 2 rounds, I wouldn't be too surprised if NAVI continue to pressure outside control, because I feel like Big EQUIPA really haven't been able to do much here. That being said, right now, it's going to be just the op holding here towards Ram, and ZAna is playing a dangerous game, but she's got a teammate nearby, and Ada is going to mop up the remaining members. Clean shots as well.
Ooh, yeah, that was a little bit scary. Good that she had the backup in there, otherwise that could have been a disaster. I was going to say, I even thought for a minute there, if they just rushed the lower part of the map, they could even get the bomb down, because I don't think there was too many people nearby by the time they were there, so it could have been a little bit of a surprise. But I agree with you, that B bomb site seems like that's the one where they had the most success, and it could be down to just Big EQUIPA not having the right protocols to rotate some players down, because you don't really have to defend the bomb site that hard. You just have to get 1 or 2 kills while they're trying to get there, and then you can usually do the retake. So that's maybe a couple of things to look at as well on that on the Big side. So far, double AWP on the T side, which is definitely a little bit more rare, but not completely unheard of. Angelka making the jump over. Oh, it looked like she had the pre-fire aim for it, but not quick enough. Viku, though, going to get the return, so still a 4-on-3.
Bit of a mistake there from ZAna getting the first kill and then allowing the Bloodlust to get a better of her. And you can see already big EQUIPA, right? Losing a couple of players early on here, and they have just turtled up on his upper bomb side. And the thing is for NAVI Javelins, they have so much time. They don't need to hit the panic button and just go for an upper or lower rush. They can take the sweet time here. But still a double up in play, like you said, Anders. That does make me feel a little uncomfortable. If they get the bomb down, then sure, fine. You can set them up as a dual turret system, but still, to take control of the map, it's going to take a while as we have all 4 members of NAVI Javelin slowly make their way towards ramp. And at what point do big EQUIPA start to move around? You can see already Ada needs to be careful. The timing is actually brilliant. She still sticks around though, and she is being hunted down. Is she gonna? They're gonna go for it. Angelka pushing her down, but the flank from D7, the timing is everything, and she's so close by. The sound cues, oh, they're gonna be waiting for Angelka. The second kill for her, and it's all down to 80. To turn around is 1v3, and it's not gonna happen. 6th round on board here for NAVI.
Well, they have a lot of money going into the last round on the CT side. That's something to really work with, but yeah. I think D7 Chief thought they had already made their way past. She thought they'd kept running into the lower bomb site. That is another round there where they don't have that much information. They're kind of all on the upper part of the map. There's not that much, you know, no one is really dropping down the vent or anything. So definitely that lower part is something that could be looked at again for big EQUIPA, and I'm sure they will. Still, it's a very even first half. 8-6 at the moment. Hanka looking to spot someone outside. That's a good vent drop. Look at that coming out from Danu. She's already down there and making sure if anyone's going to follow her that she was going to be ready for that one. But the way that they've been handling this bomb site means this should be a little bit interesting. We'll see. Oh yeah, she catches the 7 down below. And now see if Big can retake the bomb site, because this really has been, it's been the big problem for them in the first half.
Looking at the stats as well, right? Like Nuke is a map where in Season 1, when big EQUIPA took down NAVI Javelins, it was a 3-mapper, and Nuke was the map which NAVI were able to take. It was 16-14. It looks like, you know, big EQUIPA really, they've only had 2 officials on Nuke here, at least on HLTV. I'm sure they played a few more Nukes, but you can clearly see they're not as comfortable. The protocols aren't quite there on this map as opposed to a lot of the other maps where they're way more dominant on, and that is something that NAVI Javelins is looking to abuse here. Still, 5v4 as a bomb will be planted.
And a lot of credit to NAVI Javelins for seeing this weakness and exploiting it over and over again. That's exactly how you want to play it. Once you realize that there's something that they're missing slightly here, you should absolutely keep hitting it with a hammer, because that's how you win. Viku, she's got the right idea, sees it. ZAna wanted to go for a peek up close, but instantly downed. Smoke is pretty good here for the control room, but Viku's still got a nice lineup, and she's going to be able to take one more, and they get wiped out in this one. 8-7 at the end of the first half. Still in favor of big EQUIPA, but there's a very, very close match going into the second half. It'll be interesting to see who's going to come out on top. We'll find out after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the second half still on the opening map here between Big EQUIPA and NAVI Javelins, and they cut it right down the middle, didn't they, Blair? 8-7 in favor of Big.
Yeah, and like if you go back to the last few rounds of that half, it was NAVI Javelins figuring out exactly what the chinks in the armor were for this Big EQUIPA side's defense, right? Just being very comfortable giving up lower, and they're not really able to execute the retakes. And again, if you go back to some of the rounds won by Big EQUIPA, it came down to some miraculous rounds. But here comes the hit towards the upper bomb side, and Angelka has to deliver, but the kills are all going to go the way of Big EQUIPA. Just to one casualty in the form of Jenny R. And this is going to require a miracle from Danu and Angelka to bring back.
Yeah, I don't even see how this is going to happen. We're going to have to do something truly special. Sometimes, though, it doesn't have to be so complicated when it comes to attacking a bomb site. And this, especially a pistol round, rush that A bomb site, get in there and get the opening kill. That's all they needed. Danu's out here looking. A little bit of a fight. It's a great headshot to take down ZAna, but they need a lot more of those. Gonna kick up one more. In fact, and Angelka picking up. Oh, no! D7 is on her own now.
There's
1 versus 2. There is a kit that they've just picked up, so let's see if they can find that defuse. She's doing her best to buy a lot of time here. Swings out for it, and that's the kill. Executing Angelka at the end. Oh, man. Clutch performance coming out from D7, or they would have lost that round.
But that was still a 4 versus 2. That was still a 4 versus 2. Heavily favoring Big EQUIPA, and somehow Angelka and Danu almost bringing it back. Clean taps here from Danu. And if you offer them these fights, they're going to take it, and most of the time it's going to come out on top. A D7 coming up clutch. So it might not be necessarily the top fragger on this team for the side of Big EQUIPA, but D7 has always been the player to have those impact moments.
Yeah.
And if that clutch is going to be the one to turn things around, it remains to be seen, as we will have, of course, the full eco from NAVI Javelins, and this is something we touched upon yesterday as well, Anders. Like how majority of the teams at ESL Impact, they prefer going for the full eco come round number 2,
yep.
While you have the top dogs, kind of the top dogs in the form of like a Furia or Big EQUIPA or Enigma Galaxy. They like going for the 4 spies. So I feel like you said it as well. It could be difference of mentality in how they approach the game as well.
Yeah, just a question of what you feel more comfortable with, and I guess also your track record for actually doing damage in these follow-up rounds. It's an interesting double boost that's happening inside of the A-bombs. I don't know if I've seen that before, actually, so I really want to find out. I feel like a lot of teams are not nearly creative enough in these kind of rounds. Going to get backstabbed, and it obviously puts a huge amount of pressure on all of the boosts here. So AD coming up with a very, very good angle to try and shut that down. They're going to try and take the fight to her instead, and that works so far so good. D7 though, Mac 10, even at range, picking up some good shots. So I think they've lived through the danger in this one. But yeah, a lot of the time I feel like people just kind of stretched out, normally. They're like, let's go somewhere. Not enough creative stuff happening in these save rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to basic probability and math, right? It comes down to, like, you have the default pistols. Do you want to play default positions where your odds are going to be minuscule, or rather just screw it, throw a bit of a curveball, at least for the memes, if nothing else. And we've seen so many times where actually, well, not too many times, but at times you'll have some of these stacks actually bear fruit, and you might be able to pull off a miracle round, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it's worth trying, So, a lot of input here from the coach behind Big EQUIPA. You can almost tell from the hand signals, can't quite read lips yet, but it seems like he's sort of saying, calm everything down, Wow, we actually almost can read the strategy here. Throw the nades.
Can you read, can you do sign language?
I wish I could. It feels like it'd be worth learning, but I'm too lazy, unfortunately, is the problem.
Yeah, and it's also like if you learn sign language and you want to talk shit with someone in front of everyone else, the other person needs to know the language as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Or else you look like an idiot all alone.
That is a good point. Well, here we go. 3-round gap, and we're back from the quick little timeout there into round number 18. Jenny already taking a couple of shots throughout here, but they're a little bit defensive in this one. Big EQUIPA, they don't want to be rushing into any kind of madness out of the yard. Got to be careful. There's a nice smoke there for Angelka to just look at the edge off. They're going to be setting up their own wall. She was thinking about it. It's a nice idea. Can she create another gap in it? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe not. But that's a nice plan. If she could have created a real gap there, maybe she could have found out even just the information of how many people are out here is going to be important because they don't know right now.
Yeah, and the smokes are good enough right now to complete obscure her vision, right? So Hank has to play a safer position as ZAna-th. She was all by lonesome. Smart play for her to drop on down and a good smoke as well, but I think she's been spotted and that's ZAna hunting her down. This is fast from the side of Big EQUIPA. Rotation really hasn't taken place and 80 just going to stick. The smoke will bloom as well. Now this 5v4, I don't know if Big EQUIPA really, sorry, NAVI Javelins really want to go for this, right? For Big EQUIPA, bear in mind, this was a bonus round.
Yeah, it is. I would say it's a little bit questionable, but once you get that kill from Lina, you immediately feel like you can. Yeah, you want to do it anyway, but it still might not be a good idea. Hanka's going to be taking down ZAna, and the bomb has been already planted for a minute here. Vico's out hunting, but this is far away from the bomb site, so she's going to find the kill, sure, but it still might be a little bit tricky. D7 has to get on out of there. Well, she's going to get hunted down by Angelka, and they're going to be on the bomb. I think they have time for it. Wow, that is a wild retake with no kits, just some really swift fights, and they had not a second to spare on that one. That is going to be painful for Big. They must have thought surely that is a round that they already won.
Oh, absolutely. And I felt like if a couple of players actually tucked on in and just delay the time instead of offering fights, this would have been the round. Sure, you really can't blame that kill over here. Vico was very low, by the way, and that duel pretty much decided how this one was going to be playing on out. But it felt like Big EQUIPA never really found themselves in comfortable and safe post-plant position. They were just sticking around in kind of like in a 50-50 mindset as to whether the retake's taking place or not. So yeah, NAVI Javelins are going to be very happy with the way that one played out.
And that might be a little bit of what we're seeing as well from when they were playing on the... Ooh, wow, well, that's an opening. Well done. Jenny able to take down Hanka. I think it's the same kind of thing that we saw when we were seeing in the first half, where they were a little bit anxious to go look for information, go look for fights. I think Big EQUIPA maybe just need just a tiny bit of leadership to remind them every once in a while, you know, here's where we want to be a little bit more passive. Because getting into the bomb side aggressively is great. They had that on lockdown. 4 versus 5. And Lina having a little bit of a tough game herself at the moment. She's got 5 kills overall. The rest of the team way up there, so see if she could have some impact here in the second half on the CT side. That'd be great. Jenny waiting at the corner, smoke disappearing behind her. If she is allowed to get into Mini and take a fight, that's going to be tough to deal with. Oh! She was not even really pre-aiming that. There's Lina out in the lobby, but shot in the back. She couldn't get the spin off quite in time. 35 seconds.
But taking down Lina now, they know that upper bomb side, it's looking rough, right? You take down a player playing outside of Mini, you take down a player who push inside of Hut, and now you know. Angelka might be the only defender, but she's doing all of it by her own, at least bringing it down to a doable, a winnable 1v2. But ZAna-th, all by lonesome towards ramp. You still have 15 seconds. You need to at least finally get the bomb done, and now she's going to be coming on in a Molotov, flash, a kit, and 100 HP to work with for ZAna-th. And silence them for slowly creeping up towards HUD position.
She does have the Molotov, so could get a little bit spicy if she can find the first kill. She can now. How do you guess where the second player is?
You look at the plant.
Yeah, that's it. That would be a huge indication. She's not quite sure yet. And maybe even throwing the Molotov could be a little bit scary. There, now she knows. Does she want to risk it is the big question, though. Not that much time either. Yep, she's going to try for it, and Jenny has no choice. She has to just try and run for it. Flashbang doesn't help her out. Oh, she gets it. Doesn't matter. That round has been won. That is really scary. Standing inside of that Molotov for an extra second just to get the nade off, and then enough for the kill. That's, yeah, that's about as close as it can get.
Imagine if she hurled a Molotov, if ZAna-th hurled a Molotov at the very beginning itself, and then tapped the bomb. That could have easily gone her way here, and that is an unreasonable opening from Jenny as well. Even able to find Viku.
Yeah, opening and closing the round is Jenny R in this one, so yeah, very, very good stuff.
It's from the fire straight to the cold earth, but still a winning effort as Jenny R. 2 CTs have walked on pass. But it is just the default pistols. I do spot a P250 in the hands of Angelka, but that's about it. And Viku's managed to sneak her way in from behind.
Oh, she's got very far in. A little bit of a surprise there, but Jenny's quick again to pull out the Gabriel, no issue. But that is, yeah, it's one of those moves that can work out. To find another USP out here. 14th kill in the game for Jenny. And Right now, 5 versus 3. Want to be careful there. Yep, 80. I could understand she wanted to root them out of the huts, but they realize there's a lot of pressure on this lobby, and Danu's going to get caught as well. So it's a flawless round coming up from Big EQUIPA, and things are starting to really shape up for them here. Putting a little bit of distance between them and the NAVI Javelins. This could be the sprint to the finish line if they can keep this up.
Absolutely, and that's going to be something back to mind the NAVI Javelins as well. Again, reminding everyone that this is the map pick from the Polish side, and it's a map that they did take down Big EQUIPA on a couple of months prior. So here we go. The Galil's still very much in play. They really haven't had the need to go for the upgrades yet, but the buy has come on in for NAVI Javelins. Off in the hands of EQ. We did see a few missed shots earlier out, Andres, but we've seen how lethal she can be with the AWP, especially in the CT side. She can be a bit of a problem here, but right now NAVI have the tough task of having to claw their way back here. No one's going to check Lina. This is huge. She's going to find the first, the second as well, but Jenny are in Ada to open up the bomb site, and there's a gap in the smoke as well, and smartly Big EQUIPA, they're going to re-smoke it, not going for the swing, but this flank from Danu could be everything, but there is still ZAna holding the line with the Galil in play.
Yeah, going to jump down, trying to help her friend out a little bit. That's going to be catching Danu right there, but I agree, the smoke, but they have to worry about the bomb, though. It is inside of the bomb site. They're making a long rotation around. Hanka, she seems to have the right idea. I don't know if she heard them or not, but some of the players on Big are a little bit low on health. Hanka, she could have a great spray down. There's one, followed up, she pre-fires it. ZAna, though, able to get the straight headshot. And now it's all on VQ here, 1 versus 2, and she's in a very uncomfortable position. Up close against her is 80, or Ada, sorry, and it'll be the Galil to take down the enemy Orca and win another round. 13 on the board, and they don't have the money on the NAVI Javelin side. They have to be so worried right about now.
The woes of the CD side economy, and what a call from Big EQUIPA. Look, I don't know if it's the right or the wrong call. I mean, at the end of the day, they still managed to win the round there. But just giving up the bomb, keeping one player tucked inside a CT vent. Now, if the CT player went up, held all the way towards heavens, that player is done. That player is going to be done indeed. But oh, this is very animated.
Yes. You're seeing, again, it's the kind of the personality difference between
completely different.
different sides, you know. I love it, though.
Nice try here from Lina as well to hold on to the upper bomb side. But yeah, like just a call to leave the bomb and 2 plays wrap her up from ramp, leaving the 3rd player alone there. Because there's a 3v2 player advantage for the T's there. But there was a big window where it would come down to a 2v2. One of the players would have been low. They would have lost control of the C4. So it could have easily spiraled out of control here for Big EQUIPA. But you said it, Anders, the money, it's looking grim. It's looking like my bank account, and that's never a good thing. There's NAVI Javelin just running on out, and there's so much information being gained by Ada. No need for her to take these duels, and there's information being conveyed to her teammates as she will finally fall. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, but they should have lost the bomb site by now as we have the bomb getting planted. Just the AK-47 picked up, and it should be round number 14 for Big EQUIPA.
Yeah, exit kills probably the best that NAVI Javelins could aim for right now. And Big EQUIPA, this is one of those rounds though where we've seen a couple of times so far, even in this map, where they get a little bit aggressive a little bit too early, and it becomes risky. So right now I'm seeing a lot of players frozen, just not moving anywhere. That's exactly what you want. Not nearly as exciting as running for every single kill, but definitely a better move overall. Going to be another one there, but I don't know if Danu's going to be able to save that M4 they're out looking for already. Oh, she actually gets one more, making it expensive and taking down ZAna as well. This is still going to be their round, but that is going to cost them a lot at the end. They have a lot of money in the bank on the T side, but probably some of those kills could have been avoided.
Could have been, but then again, when you're 14 up on your opponent's map pick, you're feeling pretty comfortable here.
Yeah, absolutely. Danu going on an expensive tear to get some of those rifles away. Now let's see, 2 more rounds, and as you said, they pick up the opponent's map pick. That always feels amazing when you can do that. Out of the yard, Hanka's making a run down towards secret stairs, so she's in a position outside really early. If they want to go for that smoke wall, she's going to be able to call their bluff and look around it and see, well, that no one's going to be there. Although Jenny, this is maybe a little bit of a Molotov that way, goes towards behind red, so at least she's going to know that no one is out there. And looks like Angelka wants to reposition slightly anyway. I think she's... All right. You can play that smoke for a one-way if you want on top of the railing, but she's a little bit further back.
You can see now Jenny R just trying to be the one to make quite a bit of noise.
And she was shooting for the one-way.
Yeah, she was, but not able to find anything. But still, that's information gleaned. They know at least there's one player over there, and this rotation could be huge here. But instead, Big EQUIPA going to be pivoting back towards the lobby position. The Incendiary keeping them at bay, and Jenny R with the crunch, and this hold is everything for NAVI.
Yes, it is. Nice swing. It's 80 and Ada coming in with a big double opening. But the fact that they can get into Mini like that at all is such a dangerous position for anyone defending that A bomb site. They have another Molotov, another smoke, 2 HEs. They can keep them locked out of this for a long, long time. But let's just see if Big EQUIPA can stay out of the fight. There's one. And now again, it's time to slow it down. Don't give them the fights. It's not worth it. Yeah, Viku's going to be out of them. And this is going to be 15 on the side of Big EQUIPA. They are one round away from doing it. This is it's a very, very good first half. Even some of these rounds have been very scary. They've managed to pull through.
Yeah, and for me, in all honesty, once NAVI Javelins got a 7 rounds on the T side of the map pick, I thought they'd pretty much done whatever was needed for them to make this a close affair, or at least, or even get the win. But Big EQUIPA, they've just been cleaving through this defense, and that's what happens, right? Like when you lose a pistol round, and even though you might be like, all right, it's 8-7, the scoreline's kind of close, you got to realize city side economy. You get a buy, you lose that, you have to go for the eco. Buy, eco, buy, eco. And eventually, if you look at the number of rounds that's been won by the side of Big EQUIPA here on their T side, majority of them, or at least 50% of them, have been against pistols. It's just the way the game works right now. And it has to be such a gutting feeling here for NAVI Javelins. Last time these two teams played, NAVI Javelins actually on Nuke, NAVI Javelins actually winning 16-14. So this is a complete reversal of fortunes for the Polish side.
And that's also kind of a dynamic that can be a little bit tricky. You know, if you win that last matchup, the opponent has a lot of things to look at. Big could have had a lot of time to figure out what works. How did we lose the last game? It's usually a little bit trickier if you're the one, if you've seen that one, because sometimes you just think, oh, well, you know, we won last time. Maybe that'll work out more or less again. And this time it's definitely not true. 15-8. They need 7 in a row right here. NAVI Javelins to bring it into overtime. And they're a long way from doing that at the moment. But at least they have rifles to fight with in this round, so that's going to be somewhat helpful.
Yeah, early napalm carpet bombing on top of the huts is going to force them out to play a little bit more conservatively towards the upper bomb side. 2 players lying in wait, and Angelka, there was a second there. The smoke will delay them for a couple of seconds. They're paranoid. They're so paranoid about Jenny R just being such a nuisance outside, but finally, Jenny will fall to Angelka, finding her in the smoke. I'm not too sure if she was able to spot her out. And Danu, she has to answer the call of duty. Pressure is on, but Viku's there to help her out.
Yeah, great crossfire. This should be a real shutdown. Grenades not doing too much yet. All of them flying back behind that box. Danu lining him up, and it's a lot of damage. Taking a quick double, leaving 80 on her own. And this is absolutely a solid defense coming out. They're finally going to get 1 kill in return there, but that does not make a big difference. Maul, on the other hand, would. They don't have really a lot of money on the NAVI Javelin side, so even just saving and making sure you can get all the rifles and everything else, even though they're a round away from losing this map, it still makes a difference. Nicely done on that ramp defense.
Very well held, and yeah, once you lose Jenny R there towards outside, it's like they have to go for... Oh yeah, there she was, able to spot her out. They had to, I wouldn't say necessarily go for a panic play, but then immediately pivoted back because they assumed that the side of NAVI had actually allocated a lot more resources towards outside, towards secret, to take care of that particular lurk. So they're like, all right, maybe Rambo doesn't have anyone, maybe just a 1 defender. So good work from Big EQUIPA. Of course, they have still enough funds to go for a buy, and 6 opportunities to close this one out. So no pressure yet here for the side of D7 and her fellow ladies. Op though, still in the hands of Viku. And if she starts to wake up, we could still have a close affair.
Yeah, absolutely. Still missing that. She's been doing fine in terms of kills, Viku, but I'd love to see that. So a bit of a gap here. Angelka getting traded right away. And Ada going down. That's Viku on that AWP like we were talking about. Angelka's ready for it. Jenny, again, she's been successful like you mentioned outside, but this time denied the entry into Mini, which was a big weakness earlier in some of these hits. That's exactly how they got in there. Viku hitting 1 more shot, and now it's on D7 1 versus 4 to try and get the job done. She's jiggling that out a little bit, baiting out the shot, in fact, and ready for more. Oh, it's a headshot to take down Viku, and finally Danu able to save the round with a lone look coming through lobby, but that looked like it was going to be maybe a little bit scary.
Great work there. I don't even think they were able to retrieve the AWP as well, so quite an amount of damage being dealt here to the CD side, but at least for this round, I feel like NAVI can breathe a little bit more easier. There's going to be just the pistols coming out here for the T side. There we go, just P250s. You can even see just a one solitary deagle, but a decent bit of your utility. 3 smokes, you should be seeing the smoke wall getting deployed. They're going to be running in alongside the smoke. Nice flashbang as well to bait out a shot from Viku. They're just going to be playing a little bit more of a passive position. And NAVI Javelins haven't really committed any players. There's a big gap in the smoke when Angelka decides she really doesn't want to take this one. But Viku looking to just duke it out, and this could get a little messy, but Hanka's there to help her out, and it's going to be, should be a clean affair here, Viku. A few confidence kills as well coming on for the lady as we're down to now just 4 rounds of deficit. I can see this going to OT. I could easily see this going to OT.
Hell yes, the way that they're playing right now, it definitely could. 4-round gap. Viku on that AWP, yeah, I agree. There's some confidence kills out there too, and she's getting that flick accuracy coming online. Yesterday, she was actually super impressive, so I'm not surprised that we're seeing a little bit more starting to come in here on the CT side. No orb to challenge her on the other side of the big EQUIPA team. They don't have the money for it yet, so we'll see if the rifles will do. Jenny's going to try and work her magic outside one more time. Oh, but stopped hard, just guessing, and Hanka's going to be able to find her. That is so frustrating when it happens, but great for the NAVI Javelin side.
Yeah, I love how she didn't just go for the full spray, right? Just tapping away,
yeah.
Tapping the burst. Good read there. And the tag slowing down Jenny R as well. But as the smokes do dissipate, they have managed to infiltrate towards the secret position, but there is still Angelka lying in wait, and Danu, she's got such a great read here. And big EQUIPA without dealing a singular point of damage towards NAVI. They're just down to 2 players, ZAna and 80, to somehow try and turn this one around. They do have the C4 on the back of 80, but they are separated for the time being. Now, there's still a minute on the clock to work with here, and Angelka's position is known, so there is a world that could try and pincer her together, but with Viku finding ZAna and 80's position compromised, it's just a matter of time before she falls as well.
80 just trying to find a way out, not going to be happening. Lina will take her down. Another step in the right direction. I've got to say it's kind of interesting because, I mean, usually a lot of our attention ends up going towards the AWP players just because of the nature of that rifle.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of really cool mechanical work for Angelka, even when she's not fighting, even when she's just moving around the map. One of these early rounds, when they were on the T side, she was taking a bunch of angles coming in through the garage, and she was doing a very good job jiggling all of those angles, making sure that she was minimizing her exposure every single time. This time she's using a little jump trick to look in. She even opened and closed the door to try and, you know, if anyone's hearing on the other side, they might think that she's run back into the bomb site. She came back to look. Lots of little tricks, even outside of just shooting the gun, that's really shows you have to spend a lot of time to perfect all of those across the map. So really fun to see. 4 versus 5, and we're back to pistols on the T side. And Angelka back here. Lina over towards Squeaky Door. Yeah, they're going to be ready for whatever comes.
Molly as well. Flashbangs well dodged. They run out here. This could be a slaughter. And Angelka, it's the fadeaway shots through the smoke. A clean round. Not a single point of damage being taken again here for the CT side. So they're building up the economy. They're looking good. They're winning it convincingly here, Vince. And also, the crowd's looking good as well. Packed house already here, and it's day 2, and it's still early in the day.
I'm Vince again, am I? I miss Vince too. I take it, it's fine.
I'm just so used to it, man.
That's true, and we do look like.
But you haven't called me Moses yet, so I feel bad now.
Time will come. Don't worry.
Well,
if we shave your head, I guarantee it. If you're up for it, we can
you know what? I just might. It's getting pretty warm nowadays.
You can take over. Just steal all of Jason's jobs. Here we go, 15-13. It's real near the finish line. And NAVI, they are holding them back. If this goes into overtime, it's a whole new game once again. It's so much more difficult. preemptive smoke down there for Lina, which if they throw this Molotov down, it's going to basically just fall right into the smoke. And I wonder if ZAna-th heard it. There we go. It might be extinguished almost immediately on top of the box instead. Viku gets one on Ada, and oh, this is such a nice smoke for them right now. Angelka doing all the work, but she does burn alive in the end. And ZAna's now on her own. It is a 1 versus 3. She has a lot of time, but how do you find a way out here? Do you stick on the A bomb side? Do you try and make a run for it? She's going to go for the bomb plant right away. And Viku doesn't want to challenge it, waiting for her teammates. They're coming in behind right now. ZAna's going to pick up one, spins around, sees just the top of her head, but it's too late. Danu's shown up with another backstab, and it is almost overtime. This is really impressive stuff here for NAVI Javelins, making their way back 14-15.
Cool, calm, collected, not seemingly being phased here on the side of NAVI, and this comeback has been extraordinary. 6 rounds in a row. It was, I believe, 15-8. They had 7 map points, did Big EQUIPA to close this one out, but Iberian ladies, they've hit a wall here. And all the 6 rounds, Vince, they, as Anders, I need to just stare at your face at this point. All the 6 rounds, they have been not able to get the bomb down, have the Big EQUIPA side, and that is a worrying proposition here. Even the utility, the way they were deploying it, they weren't coming in. If they came in like a couple of seconds later, perhaps the Molotov would have made life very miserable for Angelka. The flash would have popped a little bit earlier, so the initial kill wouldn't have gone the way of Viku as well. So a little bit of mistiming, really forcing Big EQUIPA to really be scrabbling in some of the later round situations. But here we go, round number 30 about to go live, and Viku is being hyper aggressive, and I love it.
Yeah, this is cool because she hasn't really been doing this too much. It's going to surely catch them off guard. She misses the chance. Oh no, she gets traded by Lina, and Danu trying to make it back. ZAna's going to get one more revenge kill, so at least it's a 3-on-3. Man, they looked like it was going to be a genius move there. She would have hit the shot, man. What an upset for them. 3 versus 3, and Hanka's out on a big flank. And again, this is so early in the round that it is really hard on the T side to go look for. So they might be in a lot of trouble here. Ada, she's a second away from death. Hanka, there's the look. She's going to spot it out, but we'll get traded.
Damage,
at the very least, yeah.
So much damage being dealt now, and now it's go time. And Angelka is right, going to be above. She's going to find it first and the second as well. And NAVI Javelins, they're going to take us to overtime. It has been an incredible comeback. 7 rounds in a row. And if they're going to be able to close it out, we're going to be finding out. But before that, of course, we have a very short break.
kind fellow. Little does she know. Yes, I've lived a lifetime of joyrides and snow white lines. I've been on a roll. See, I've killed and I've died a few times. If you wanna meet God, so call up the lawyers. 'Cause we got some blood on our hands tonight. Round up your soldiers. 'Cause some of us won't make it out alive. Like your car, wreck your car. Jump out, but don't look down. Feel the rush in your blood. Bet you figured out we don't mess around. A lot of money in the spotlight. Let's burn it down. It's a lot of money in the spotlight. Let's burn it down. Let's burn it down.
Well, it turns out if you let NAVI Javelins live, they come back to haunt you a little bit later on. It looked like it was done, but they won 7 rounds in a row to get it into overtime on Nuke. And this is where the fun really begins, because we're on a big stage. You're going to get tested in a way that you've probably never tried before when stuff like this happens. A lot of pressure is going to start to sort of climb in. This is where players start to make a couple of mistakes that they maybe wouldn't, because again, it's a lot of pressure to deal with. I'm excited to see how this is going to be playing out. They have a chance here, NAVI Javelins, to win their own map pick, which not that long ago looked impossible.
Yeah, and just the tenacity and the mental strength for them to hold on. Battled 7 elimination points to bring this one back has to be absolutely praised. But still, the job isn't quite done yet for EQUIPA, though. Even though they've been dragged to OT, maybe that was a mental reset they needed. Maybe that's the moment for them to kind of wake up, because we can see the coach talking to them quite intensely as well. As I do believe they used up almost all of their tactical timeouts, so maybe one remains in Jenny R. She was a thorn initially on the T side, but she has been taken care of multiple times, and once more, it is going to be Angelka. You brought up a name, and what a hole from her. 3 kills, bomb dropped at her feet, and is down to D7 to bring this one back, and Angelka is now just unstoppable.
Yeah, 29 kills on her at the moment. She's been displaying a lot of cool finesse in her game throughout this first map, so I'm not surprised to see that it's also resulting in kills to back it up. But you pointed it as well. The fact that they've been able to take care of Jenny out in that yard is also a big deal, because that was really something that they were struggling with earlier. And once they lose the yard control, Jenny, I think 2 or 3 rounds already, has been helping out in that A hit coming through Mini. And when they take her down like that, it's not going to be possible. So let's just see. 16-15 first round of overtime goes to that CT side.
Without a single casualty as well, Anders. It's a statement here. As Hanka from above, this time Jenny R finally gets her vengeance. Using the smoke as a bait, realizing Hanka does at times like heading on top of that roof, and she's managed to somehow scamper her way to safety as well. So one of the players of EQUIPA being alive here, Jenny R. She doesn't really even have to do much. Just her being present here is going to force NAVI Javelins to go for a play, try and be aggressive. Jenny R takes on Angelka as well towards Secrets. They're trying to hunt her down. Lina at least able to try and attempt to bring things about the equilibrium. But things are looking good here finally for EQUIPA after what felt like forever.
Oh, yeah, a bit of an opening, a chance maybe. Danu goes down. Oh, it's close. Nearly Viku getting the kill. She spins around and takes down Jenny, though. That is wild. A headshot through the window. And now she's picked up an M4, and she's on the hunt. She's going to catch one of them trying to escape. I don't think they realized that she was going to be back so quick. And 80, yeah, she saw the gun barrel, Viku. That is a nice move. I don't think 80 knows, and she's going to be going down, spinning around for it. What a 1 versus 3. A clutch for Viku, and that'll give them another round in overtime. That looked impossible right from the outset.
That should have been unwinnable, but that first shot on the Jenny R, and this is Jenny R getting 3 kills as well. It's beautiful stuff, and then the barrel being spotted out, that's a bit of a rookie mistake. You tuck that gun in, you tuck that in, you don't show it. What a shot at Jenny. I, for a moment, thought 80 was just trying to purposely bait
Yeah.
her out, and then she was going to be traded by ZAna, but it looked like it was unintentional. And what looked like a round finally going the way of Big EQUIPA. Now it's 9 in a row for NAVI Javelins, and they're 2 away from taking this one. They could even make this a flawless half.
Yeah, they really could. They're in an amazing position right now. Jenny's sneaking outside. It's Ada to open up this round and taking down Angelka. That's got to feel really good the way that she's been playing. Riku sounding that AWP all the way from heaven. 4 versus 5. And surely just emotionally for Big EQUIPA to pick up this round would be so important just to get a shot at it here. Lina goes down, but ZAna is well aware there could be a second player trying to do it. And you've got to be paranoid about the ramp push as well. There's none coming, but you have to think about it, and they have a couple of players that are looking out for it.
That's a big find. That's a big find. And Angelka is going to get another kill onto Ada. But now they know Viku's position. They know where Daniel likes to play as well towards ramp. But they are going to be heading straight towards ramp. That is big. Because now, despite having control of ramp, there is a question mark. Has Danu headed towards hell? Is she waiting from the lower bomb side? They still have a little bit of time to work with here. But it looks like the CTs have been they're just fallen for the bait. We saw a couple of smokes being lobbed inside a mini, and that forced a rotation out from Danu straight into vents. And Big if someone managed to thread the needle.
Yeah, they just weren't sure, and she's going to get caught at a really unfortunate angle there. Danu going down. ZAna with a really good round here. Triple kill so far, and they're going to catch Viku as well. 80 able to pick it up, and finally, after a long stretch, Big EQUIPA able to pick up a round in the first half of overtime. What was that you said? Losing 9 in a row?
Yeah.
So that's a deep drop on the roller coaster right there. But maybe it's going to find its way back up on the other side of this overtime half here. Now they're going to be on the CT side, and that's where they did some decent work in regulation.
That feels like a distant memory, Andrew.
Yeah.
It feels like Big EQUIPA have to remind themselves, hey guys, we actually had a fantastic CT side, and they need to replicate that. Jenny are, though, looking for revenge. She has struggled a bit here. The smoke is a one-way, but now her position known. And she needs backup real quickly. She needs a flash. She's just going to be sitting inside of the smoke. This is very, very brazen from Jenny, and Angelka will punish her for it. And Jenny's been having a rough time towards outside. Nade's going to sail on in. Angelka down to 43 HP, but NAVI Javelin, they'll apply the brakes, slow things down here. 1 minute and 20 seconds still to work with.
It would have been amazing for Jenny if there had been anyone close enough by outside to throw a flashbang for it. That would have really helped out. Oh, ZAna! That is a very quick scope. They need that right now. They need that. That's her power. That is the super weapon they have on the Big EQUIPA side. And this is exactly when they need it. Otherwise, they could end up losing this map. 4 versus 4 now. Angelka out of the round. And setting up still with that bomb out in the yard, kind of thinking it over a little bit. They're actually going to fall quite far back with 45 seconds. Oh, this is very risky. This could be one of those rounds where you really run out of time. Look at 3 Molotovs left on the Big EQUIPA side. So if they want to play this slow, those Molotovs could absolutely ruin their day. A little bit of a timing for Ada. Good idea to fall back. Yep, smoke is up on the one side there, and they're being forced. They have nowhere to go. They have to go through the bomb site, but now there are Molotovs waiting for them. This is a nightmare for the NAVI Javelins.
20 seconds left as well. The hit must come on in. There is a chance for them to sneak their way towards vents and head towards the lower bomb site, but it is going to come down to 80. She's not going to swing. First player in. Second, though, not able to drop on down. Viku able to get a kill with 10 seconds. They need to somehow plant the bomb, and it's all down to Lina to get it done. Viku with the op, though, still taking players down. The 3rd kill for her, and it's all on Ada in a 1 versus 2.
Yep, sneaking through. Ada, she picks that one up, but Viku's on the other side. Door is already open, and she's not going to miss the shot. Quad kill and a clutch to give them another round. They are 1 step away from taking this map. And I've got to say, oh man, when they try to dive down, there's a Molotov down and everything else. If the bomb doesn't get down with them like that, there's no chance here. What an unlikely round to win.
And such a blunder as well for just facing Viku time and time and time again. She's shown she's more than capable of holding her own. 4K as well as the 1v1 at the end over there.
But I think that's what we talked about in regulation as well for the side of Big EQUIPA. That's one of the downfalls, is a lot of aggression to try and take some of these fights. And it's cost them a number of rounds already. So let's just see if they can, I mean, it's very, very difficult to adjust in the middle of the game is the problem. Something you can easily talk about when you get back and you can look it all over. Then you're going to find out. I'm sure they will, but in the middle of a game, it can be hard to stop a team from feeling this way.
Jenny are teammate there to try and protect her. And she seems to be living on borrowed time, 22 HP. Molotov as well, making her feel very uncomfortable. Well-placed Nate to even take her down here. Another flash, the timing peak is everything, and D7 able to find Angelka. And Jenny R is actually so fortunate to not be punished. But a couple of players quite low here for the NAVI Javelin side. ZAna is going to strike, find the Jenny R, going for the swing. I'm not too sure if I was a big fan of that considering how low she was, but still information gleaned and a 4v3 advantage for the side of EQUIPA.
And this is it. They're trying to hold onto the map right now, although Angelka's doing even more work, finding a headshot on D7 and bringing it back so slightly. And again, the clock is kind of running against NAVI Javelins right now in a big way, down to 35 seconds. So they need to make a move right now. The bomb is still out here, so they have to cross over again. Somehow Lina is going to be going down. And now, yeah, slow play this one, EQUIPA. It's not worth it to fight too much. 80 trying to slow it down as well as winning the fight, and Angelka on her own now. 19 seconds, gonna go straight for the spray, just a pre-fire, and she had the right idea. Ada will take her down, and EQUIPA one step further towards double overtime, which, man, it's gonna be so destructive if they win, if they lose this one, given how far they were up. What was it, 15-8? If you end up losing in overtime to that, it's hard to recover from.
Yeah, 15-8, and you're grinding it back, facing all those elimination points, and now you have 2 map points to work with, and then for it to slip away and go to OT number 2, that would be gutting here for NAVI Javelin. Still, they have lots of cash, lots of weaponry to work with. Well, it's just been battled time and time again towards that outside position. And you got to remember, it did require a bit of a questionable sequence of events from EQUIPA and a huge round from Viku for them to win the first round on D side here. It's going to be Angelka just legging it inside a secret. Is that going to draw the rotation though? That remains to be seen. We can already see Ada slowly making her way towards the lower bomb site, trying to counter whatever Angelka might be up to.
Yeah, this has been one of the big problems in the first half, right? This is one of the things that EQUIPA really couldn't handle, was losing that B bomb site. The retakes were not quite there, and it's one of the weaknesses that the NAVI Javelins kept exploiting over and over again. So for Ada to win that fight down there is going to be hugely important. And you can see Angelka still working it over at the control room. She's waiting for it, looking for a fight. ZAna, though, defending the ramp for the minute. See how good she's going to be with that AWP. Flash to put her off the corner. She's back for more, though, and will take down Lina. And that is a nice kill to start off with. Jenny trying to go for the flank, actually. Angelka spinning around, and she takes both of them down. Still 40 seconds. 3 versus 3. And Ada trying to buy some time. Smoke not quite going to help her out down on the low ground just yet. She's forced into the fight now. She's nowhere to stand behind this, and Viku will take her down. And D7 and ZAna to try and save this map.
D7 making a lot of noise, dropping down inside of the vents, and that means it's going to be a player waiting for her. Molotov going to be delaying her even further. And ZAna, we know how much of a star she can be with the AWP, but on a retake, Anders, it's looking rough. Yeah,
near impossible. This is going to be a miracle if they can get it done, and even more so now. Angelka with a triple, and ZAna to close it out, 19-17. What an incredible comeback for NAVI Javelins to get it into overtime and to win it in overtime. And that's the first map, their map pick, done and dusted. That's a good job.
That was something they absolutely needed if they wanted to pull off the upset over here, taking the map win on their map pick. And honestly, I'm a bit gobsmacked. It was 18-7 at one, or 18-8, 18-7 at one point, and the fact they're able to take it in